Sup, Ryu here for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Council. We got tons of news from OCG land. There's a set called Fusion Forcers coming out, and I can't believe I'm saying these words. There's 2 new Fluffle cards. There's a new OCG Banlist, and if I'm not mistaken, there's a support card for Shiranui, which is actually really good because of the fact of what OCG just did with their ban list, which I'll get to momentarily. So let's talk about the Fluffles first. So, Death Toy Hackin Kraken, which is Fright for a Kraken. It's a level 8 Water Fiend type fusion monster with 2200 attack and 3000 defense. Fusion material is a 1 Edge Imp monster and 1 Fluffle monster. It's got 2200 attack with 3000 defense. I'm sorry, I'm a little tired right now. Once per turn, you can target 1 monster your opponent controls and send it to that monster to the grave. During this turn, you activate this effect. This card cannot attack directly. This card can attack twice per each battle phase. That's kind of disgusting. And I gotta be honest. And when a battle phase ends in which this card attacked, switch it to defense position. I want to make sure I lost my place there. Fluffle Octo, which is basically the octopus Fluffle, which they're both hideous. So level 1 fairy type effect monster, 800 attack, 800 defense. You can only use the first and second effects of it once each. When this card is normal summon or special summon, you can target 1 Fluffle monster or Edge Imp monster in your graveyard. Add that monster to your hand. That's actually pretty interesting. And if this card is sent to the graveyard due to being used as fusion material monster, for the fusion summon of a Fight for a Fusion monster, you can target to 2 of your banished monsters and return them to your graveyard. That's actually pretty nifty, all things considered, because if you want to run something like a Lord of Darkness, which I don't think you actually can get away with running Lord of Darkness. Basically, in short, if you're going to be banishing out something, I haven't really paid too much attention to, how Fluffles banish out stuff, but the Ancient Gear Fiend is a level 8 Earth machine type fusion effect monster. I'm not quite sure how I feel about this one. 1000 attack, 1800 defense, but level 8, and it requires 2 Ancient Gear monsters. And you can only use the second effect of Ancient Gear Fiend once per turn. This card is unaffected by other card effects, and during your main phase, you can inflict 1000 damage to your opponent. I guess if I want to finish them off and they have 1600, this is a really sacky way to do it. The reason I say 1600 is because there was the dog that pulls out the fusion. That's the main reason I said it. If this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon 1 Ancient Gear monster from your deck, ignoring this summoning condition. So, I guess that's interesting. And then there's also Ancient Gear Reborn, which you can control only 1 face-up Ancient Gear Reborn. And then once per turn, if you control no monsters, you can target 1 Ancient Gear monster in your graveyard, special summon that monster. A monster special summoned by this effect gains 200 attacks. That's fairly interesting, I guess. It's the fusion is not what I was expecting. I was expecting a little bit more, attack points into the fusion, but I guess it's a thing. And then we've got one more card, which is the cover card of Rate, which is Odd Eyes Raging Dragon, which that's a pretty interesting name. It's a level 7 Dark Dragon Exceed Pendulum Effect monster with 3000 attack and 2500 defense. It is a pendulum scale of 1, and its pendulum effect is, once per turn, if there isn't a card in your other pendulum zone, place 1 pendulum monster directly from your deck into your pendulum zone. Exceed materials, 2 level 7 dragon type monsters. Monster effect: if you can pendulum summon level 7, you can pendulum summon this face-up card in your extra deck. That's quite hilarious by itself, but it gets even funnier. This card gains the following effects if an Exceed monster is used as Exceed material to summon this card. This card can attack twice during each battle phase. Once per turn, you can detach 1 Exceed from this card, destroy all cards your opponent controls. Until the end of this turn, this card gains 200 attack for each card destroyed, and if this card in the monster zone is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can place it on top of your pendulum zone. I want to say that's pretty interesting, but I'm not really an Odd Eyes player, so I'll leave it to the Odd Eye players. And let's get into those Fluffles and Banlist, talk about those.
Spirit Wing Fast Dragon, which is a Wing Dragon Synchro Pendulum effect, level 7, 2500 attack with 2000 defense, a scale of 4, a tuner with one or more non-tuner wind monsters. And then, Pendulum effect reads, you can send one Speedroid tuner monster and one non-tuner monster from you control whose levels equal 7 to the graveyard and specialist card from your Pendulum zone. You can only use this Pendulum effect of Clear Wing Fast Dragon once per turn. A monster effect reads, during either player's turn, you can target one face-up monster the opponent controls that was special summoned from the extra deck, and its effects are negated, but its attack also becomes 0. These changes last until the end of the turn, and you can only use the effect of Clear Fast Dragon once per turn. If this card is destroyed by battle or card effect while in the monster zone, you can place this card in your Pendulum zone. It's pretty interesting, but there's more. There's a lot more. There's Espirit. This is a brand new deck. They're focused on the Chinese Zodiac, if I'm not mistaken. Level 8, I'm not going to try to say Hyoku, but level 8 Wing Beast type Ritual Spirit effect monster. Like, how does that work? It's a ritual, it's a spirit, I don't know what it wants to be, but it's 3000 attack with 2000 defense, it's a wind. You can only ritual summon this card with E-Spirit Calling. Must be ritual summoned and cannot be special summoned by other means. If this card is ritual summoned, you return up to 3 monsters the opponent controls to the owner's hand. Then you can special summon one level 4 or lower spirit monster from your hand, ignoring its summoning conditions. During the end phase of this turn, in which this card, ritual summon, returns to the owner's hand, and if you do, special 2 E-Spirit Token Wing Beast, level 4 attack, 1500 and 1500 defense. It's pretty much, it replaces itself. E-Spirit Calling. This is the card you're going to use to bring out the E-Spirit Lord. This card is used to ritual summon E-Spirit Lord, Hyoku, and then just question mark, because there's really nothing. I don't know what else there is. But you contribute monsters from your hand or field, or banish spirit monsters from your graveyard whose levels total equal out to the ritual summon of the monster or more. So that's kind of disappointing, unless there's a way to recycle it we haven't seen yet. There's E-Spirit Bird, which is the level 4 Wing Beast Spirit effect monster, 1500 attack, 1500 defense. Cannot be special summoned once per turn. If a spirit monster is normal summon or special summon, you can draw one card from your deck. During the end phase of this turn, when this card is normal summon or flip face up, return to the hand. That's pretty interesting, but I'm kind of curious, how do you get the draw power? I don't know, maybe I'm missing something. I'm pretty sure there's probably something to keep him on the board. E-Spirit Healing. Continuous draft card. You can only use the effect of E-Spirit Healing once per turn. If a face-up spirit monster you control is returned to the hand while this card is in your spell and trap zone, you can target one card your opponent controls and destroy it. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can banish one spirit monster in your graveyard and negate that attack at the end of battle phase. So, pretty much, I'm starting to think that a Yosenju variant may work because of the bouncing. They're not spirit monsters, but the bouncing would be fun. And there's also news of this here, which is Speedroid Passing Rider. There's no effects.
Now on to the OCG official ban list. And oh my god. So, OCG has gone ahead and decided to ban Level Eater. Not errata, not replace, not limit, just straight out ban Level Eater. Level Eater, it's interesting to say the least. Magician of Faith limited, they didn't have it limited. That's pretty much why it was banned. It was stupid. Magi Spectre Unicorn Kryn, that needed to happen. Cyberstein, they had a 3, and you would go into Terrier Exodo. And even all the stupid negation and everything that OCG has, Cyberstein was still causing an issue. Cypherine Lord Omega at 1. Did I or did I not say that a limitation would have sufficed for Dark Synchro, and that Dark Synchro in some shape or form was doing something in OCG land, so I think it was a preempt hit for Level Eater and Cypherine Lord Omega. I honestly feel OCG may have gone a little bit too in-depth And I wanted to see how level ER3 with one Cypher Mode Omega with Dark Synchro would have really handled itself, especially in OCG land. But let's get to the semi-limit section of the OCG ban list. Artifact Morale Tack. That's pretty interesting, all things considered. Blackluster Soldier Envoy of the Beginning. As a Chaos Dragon player, I'm okay with this. Can I have this in a TCG? I just had to take that moment. Deity Swirl Slime. If you guys are living under a rock or don't pay attention to, what's topping in OCG land, deities are one hell of a deck out there, so obviously they're going to want to start hitting it. Star Seraph Serpentine, I believe that's the staff, if I'm not mistaken. Insector Dragonfly. I said this before, I'll say it again. Insector Dragonfly can go to 3 if Hornet didn't exist the way it does, but I guess I would have put Hornet at 3 and then left Dragonfly at 1. I don't know. To each their own. Insight Magician, pretty much saw that coming. Deity Llama, Mathematician, El Shaddai Fusion, Monster Gate, Domain of the True Monarchs. They actually hit the field card at 2. They have El Shaddai Fusion, but I think Winda and Construct are banned out there, if I'm not mistaken. Unlimited for them. Sangin, this one's going to make all the Cleafort players go, please, can we have that? Cleafort Scout, 1,000 Eyes of Trick, Gateway of the Six. Oh my god. OCG has Gateway of the Six at 3? I don't know about Rota because I haven't been paying too much attention to their list, but jeez, Gateway of the Six? I gotta see how that plays out. Charger Light Brigade, Sinister Shadow Games, and Will of Revealing Light. Wow, OCG, man. You guys are fucking lining it up over there, right? That's some crazy fucking shit. What, I'm not even gonna go into it. I don't want to piss people off who play Six Samurai. I don't know. I just feel like there's going to be some sort of new endless loop that comes out of Gateway, even though we, most of us, the majority of us won't be affected by it. Granted, my time in Osaka, I do play OCG and I do play TCG, but mostly OCG there, when you go to the locals. But I'm telling you, I don't look forward to those things. I really don't. Anyways, let's move on to what is probably my favorite part of this news video, which is the Shiranui support card that comes in the set that you can literally abbreviate to RATE. RATE! So it's a continuous trap card. This card's name is treated as Shiranui style synthesis, and while it is on the spell and trap zone, that is pretty much what it is considered. Is that the actual name? That is the actual name. Apparently. That or we didn't get the name for it. I'm not quite sure. Once per turn, you can select and activate one of the following effects. Banish one face-up zombie-type monster you control, and you take no damage for this turn. Now, if you don't understand anything about Shirayuis, that is extremely good for them, because it basically just protects them and allows them to reset up and then trigger their effects. And the secondary effect reads, target 2 of your banished zombie-type monsters with 0 defense and return both of them into the deck and draw 1 card. Now, the reason why that's so good, even though at first putting stuff back into the deck seems like a terrible idea, is for the sheer fact of solitaire plays. No, not that kind of solitaire plays. Shiranui Solitaire is amazing zombie support, and with this, it gets even dumber because you could just put that solitaire back in or have it in the graveyard loaded. Whatever, I would probably put it back in and then want to draw into it because it's like a Lone Fire Blossom and just trigger it off constantly. Now, the one thing I do have to say about this trap card that interests the hell out of me is the sheer fact that because Cypher and Little Omega and OCG is at 1, and with this card now being a thing, that kind of fixes the problem of the deck not being nearly as good. Without multiple Cypher and Lord Omegas, you now have the trap card, and all you really need is the one Cypher and Lord Omega to put the stuff back that you can't put back. And when I say that, I'm talking the majority of that being trap cards and spell cards that, you can't get back into your graveyard. Not that you always need it there, but, there's ways of doing it. It's fantastic support for the archetype. I kind of wish the Ritual Beast support was this good. Yes, I just said that. I know inherently it's slow because it's a continuous trap card, and trap cards are just generically slow. You know, that's just the mechanic behind a trap card. Who knows? Maybe the next mechanic for Konami's thing will be a trap version of pendulums. Shh. That's a preview for coffee time coming up. Anyways, I just want to quickly say thank you guys so much for watching. Also, let me make note, yesterday's stock market video, that was an issue due to Sony Vegas or just the uploading process. I'm not quite sure, but I uninstalled my Sony Vegas and reinstalled it with a clean, after wiping the system with it, and everything seems to be okay as I'm producing new videos. So fingers crossed, and if there's any issues, next time I'll just take it down, and then hopefully YouTube doesn't just... I won't use their editor, because that's what I did, and that's why he kept getting spammed by it. So I'm terribly sorry about that, but I just wanted to make sure I can get the best quality out to you guys. And I kind of failed this week on that for stock market. Thank you guys for sticking in there with me. It means the world to me. Anyway, if you're new to the content and you didn't see any of that, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more, as there's going to be 2 more videos dropping out today here on the channel. We don't count news videos unless I'm super busy, and today is not a super busy day. So we may or may not count it. I'm not quite sure. But see you guys later for another video. Definitely a night for Let's Talk. I'm Ryu for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Council. If you enjoy the content, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more.